likes to use? What's that excuse that everyone likes to use? I said that before. I think it went live, but everyone keeps talking about how this is the equivalent of the scenario. Let's say you and President Trump are both standing right there, and you're both watching a fire burn this building down. But yet Trump isn't gonna do anything about it unless you tell him this building is on fire and it's... Think about it, you're both watching this building burn to the ground. But yet he's not gonna do anything about it unless you tell... Like, he's the only one who can stop the building too, so you need to tell him to stop the building. He won't do it on his own, even though you're both witnessing this building burn. Makes no sense to me. This is the same excuse that Alex Jones was throwing out today. Same excuse as a bunch of the independent media is throwing out there when it comes to President Trump. You know, they always fall back on the advisors and yada, yada, yada. What a complete joke. Can't stand that pathetic excuse. It's the advisors. It's called being a slave. It's called being an animal. Hello, start getting with the program. Unbelievable. Think about the mindset of that too. How they project what President Trump is so stupid he can't see the border and what he needs to wait for an advisor to tell him to do something, or someone else needs to. I don't really fully understand that thought process either. It really blows me. This is how you know it's all fake. They don't do anything unless it's for political power. That's it. It's not about actually freeing America. It's not actually about giving your individualism back. It's not actually about elevating your lifestyle or anything. Oh no. It's only about political power. It's only about their power. It's only about their seat. It's only about their throne. Everything will fall at this rate. As long as you continue and we continue to play this stupid game, there isn't going to be an America left. There isn't going to be anything left. As long as the general, we don't even need to wait for the president. I'm pretty sure there's some generals in Texas or whatever that could give an order over there to start arming up and militarizing the border ourselves. Get the hell out of here. This is what I'm talking about. There are other ways. Like that caller was saying, we don't need to wait for the federal government to do anything. We can do everything on our own. We need to just make sure that on a local level, these people are being held responsible and doing something about it. I'm sick and tired of it, like I keep saying. I'm so sick and tired of it. You can tell I'm sick and tired. Everyone's sick and tired of it. It's just so disgusting to see here how China and Russia and all these real enemies, these real warriors are arming up. They're gearing up for war while our society is just being kept as a child. You know, we're literally being domesticated and pacificated. So when the war does show up, we can't win. This is what they're engineering for the next step. They're literally engineering. We can't win the next war. People don't understand that. Oh, why? Because Tory News, they project the altruistic reality that nothing bad can happen or anything. It's so sick. I really wish people would understand these things. I really wish people would wake up to the fact that there is no savior. Only Jesus was the savior. Anyone else that says they could save you is a liar. There is no other saviors. You know what we need? We need leaders. We need people who aren't afraid to make these decisions. We need people who are willing to act without some, down the line political power, a hand swipe, without someone getting something in return. Hello, that's not how it works. People just need to start doing the right thing. It's unbelievable. Just like how Owen Benjamin was talking about how the Constitution is useless or whatever. That's such a lie. Think about our forefathers who worked so hard to build that up, and you're just going to disregard it. The problem is that nobody tries to enforce the Constitution, and like you just want to disregard it and throw it away. That's silly. You need to fix that mindset. You need to start forcing the Constitution onto people's face. You need to start making them adhere to those words. When it says right to bear arms, yes, we do have a right to own a nuclear weapon. We do have rights to own attack choppers. We do have rights to own all these things. Why? Because those are God-given rights. This was supposed to keep the military-industrial complex in check. Our forefathers already thought about all of this. It's truly incredible. And the fact that like he was saying, they don't care. They just sit there, they dictate, they steal from you. I mentioned it yesterday. They take the taxes. It's illegal not to pay taxes. You don't have a say about what anyone does or say. So when are people going to start to realize here that these elected officials it's a sham, it's a lie. It's all an illusion to keep you domesticated until 2050, when China says they're going to have their AI god, they're going to have the capabilities, they're going to have whatever technology that is required to conquer our society. It's called drone swarm technology. You can see it with Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and all that. They're developing drone swarm technology because you can't beat drone swarm technology. It's unbelievable. The only way you can beat it is with your own versions of anti-drone swarm technology or drone swarm. There is no humans anymore. The only thing that you're doing is trying to buff up humans to make them competitive versus drone swarms, like how Russia was doing. Unbelievable. But, you know, we can talk about all that. That's what Alex won't talk about. Just like how Venezuela, how Alex is going full neocon, saying that we need to be inside Venezuela. You realize if we would just militarize our border and actually get serious and act like we are a nation and we have leaders or generals or people who know what they're, or we don't have these controlled puppets that get up on TV and spew that trash from their mouth day in and day out, we wouldn't have to worry about it. None of it would be our big problem. So what? Big whoop to the evidence. It's like, even if they were doing all that, we can send drones down there and bomb the hell out of them anyway. We don't need to send troops. We don't need to do anything. You can laser them from space. You can do whatever. So what? Russia's sending troops in there. Go ahead. Let them bring a launcher or something. You know what? You just directed energy weapons. Their launcher. That's it. It's that easy. So no one's telling you to arm that place up. No one's telling you to do anything in there. This is what strategic warfare used to be all about. It used to be just arming up the military industrial complex. It wasn't just supposed to be out there killing people. It was supposed to be about limiting the capabilities of war. Doing that, the first thing you could do is just destroy equipment. Hello, what do you think hackers and stuff like that do all the time? They target equipment because your military can't function without equipment, which was what Obama was designed to do, was destroy all of our equipment. Unbelievable. And transfer the technologies in our faces, along with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton at the time, to the Chinese so they can further push. Who do you think gave them that Skynet technology, that super advanced autonomous AI surveillance drone system, huh? Who do they give them that? It's just completely unbelievable. They have the population. They have the data. They have the means, the willpower. They aren't afraid to exert their power over their people. Just so despicable. At least they're not afraid to exert their power over their people and they don't hide it. Over here, they keep a blanket of illusion and do the same thing. It's just so sick. I think one side is sicker than the other in one sense that, you know, they need to lie to us because they don't have our weapons yet. That's what they need. They need to take our weapons. Once they take our weapons, that's it. You can kiss the society goodbye. Whatever illegal fiat they're going to do to take the... They're going to do something beyond illegal to just take... They're going to afford... No one's going to stop them. No one does anything to stop the enforcement of all their illegal agenda or whatever. This is what the Supreme Court... All these positions are beyond compromise. I've done multiple videos documenting resources. You can literally take my channel and prosecute the United States government with it. Hello? Just like all the other channels out there that you can take and prosecute the United States government. All the evidence of criminal activity. Anything you can need to bring them all down. No wonder why they're trying to ban conspiracy videos. And you wonder why they want to block everything and control information. Because these people have been documenting their crimes from the beginning. And if you ever got anyone in there who actually knew what they were doing, it wasn't just a controlled person who actually had a brain, they could bring all those people down. It's just like the 9/11 Commission report. Trash. So they have the new one out there. They have the new grand jury who's looking at 9/11, the explosions, ask about the building. Most people don't even know 3 buildings fell that day. Do they know that? Go ahead, ask how many buildings fell on 9/11. Everyone, just the 2 towers. No, 3 buildings fell that day. And then they want to say 4 buildings were supposedly what? No, 3 buildings were supposedly hit by a plane because, you know, they say the Pentagon was hit by a plane. So you had 4 buildings take damage, 3 buildings fall. Of those 3 buildings, one of those buildings had nothing happen to it whatsoever. The other 3 buildings, one of them supposedly had a plane hit the finance. Unbelievable. Then the other one only had a few planes hit, and a fire brought it all down. And so, you know, you could just see the logical hula hoop right there. Circus. Any rational thinking person can easily deconstruct that government lie. Any rational person could go see all the videos of any other PhD scientists analyzing those. How is it that people just project? It's just like how today when I was in a chat room, you could hear it. This person just doesn't want to accept anything, like he said. As soon as he was leaving, it didn't matter anymore to him. He's just going to grow up to be the slave and further perpetuate the monster that is the federal government under the guise that they don't do anything. Unbelievable. You know, oh yeah, I'm only staying on as long as I have this drink right here. I stayed up way too late last night. You know, I'm still pushing like mad hours from last night. I don't know if you can tell, that's why I kind of have like the black right here. That means I haven't slept. You know, I got some sleep. 3 hours or so, but other than that, I don't think so. Here we go. What's next? What's next? See, if I actually had an audience, or they would actually let me send this link out before I start the live stream, because it won't let me do that for some reason. It won't let me send the link out before I can turn on the live stream, because I'm doing this on my phone. Yep. Let's see, what else is going on today? I was listening to stuff on Fade to Black, how they were talking about demonic archaeology. Just, what's that that movie, The Conjuring, that shows that family that has all those supposed demonic possessed items, and they're pretty much demon jail in their house that needs to get blessed and stuff like that. Unbelievable. It's all real. You better believe it's real. The spirituality. I was talking about spirituality yesterday, the traveler moment. I did not call into the wise wolf today. I was going to, but my question had nothing to do about what he was talking about today. So, it didn't really fit. I was going to use that analogy before, but that didn't really fit either. And, you know, I wanted to keep a nice flow of the show. I don't really understand why he is ignoring all the problems on InfoWars. I think that's kind of silly. Does he choose not to believe in that stuff? Does he think it's not real? Because I can assure you right now it's 100% real. That's why I don't understand. Our society will never change. Trump will never do anything. Like I said, I don't need anyone to tell me what to do. I don't need advisors. I don't need all that fake. If I saw the things that are happening right now, I would have been built the wall. I would have been militarized. I'm talking full military install. I already have a design layout in store to, you know, pretty much DMZ our southern border. I've already wargamed all these scenarios. I've already strategized the invasion of the United States. I've already played multiple video games where I've had to defend against the invasion of the United States from real people who I've had to come up with strategies and stuff like that. I've invaded multiple other countries. I've spent most of my life just invading other places in a virtual world. It's unbelievable. But yet here we are in this world, right? Where experience, supposedly, that's what they say, that we need experience on the... They don't need experience. What they need is a slave. They don't need real human beings. What they need is a slave. They just need people who are competent enough to take, like George Carlin says, you need people just smart enough to take orders. People are just smart enough to push the buttons and never ask any questions, like Jack Posobiec and the rest of all those people. You need that class of individuals to just keep the illusion, to keep the system flowing. Because if you were to actually have people to actually do things would change. And we can't have things change. Things can't change. It's truly sad how our society is just destined to be propelled down 2030, 2035. There's also, I think, 2037 is in there. There's also 2040, 2045, 2047, 2048, 2050. See, I'm not making those dates up. I've done multiple videos on all those dates. Those are all apex moments for technologies. Those are all apex moments that, you know, when Alex Jones used to be pure before he decided to sell out or whatever, it's just, like I said, because things would actually change. If he kept pressing on and hiring real people who were to press the questions, the things like Israel, 1945, you know, winning World War II, but yet our debt skyrockets and everything, you know, things would actually change. We can't have that. But yet here we are, trying to get things to change. That's right, we're trying to make things change over here in this reality. That guy I'm talking to on Twitter, he's talking about, you know, unified consciousness as well. And if we all think hard enough, we could change this reality. I've thought something like that too. You know, I've talked about the tethers, how we're all connected almost. And just being, how there's no such thing as an original idea. How everything is free floating out there and you're just able to grab it if you're able to grab it. Makes perfect sense. So why is it that we have these gatekeepers in the physical? That's what it is. The spiritual realm, the spiritual realm is willing, but the physical realm is weak. That's what it is. Everyone talks all day, but they won't do anything about it. How many problems have I pointed? How many solutions have I offered? I don't just sit there and point out problems. I actually offer logical solutions on how to fix these things. But yeah, nobody cares because things would actually change. We should turn that into a slogan. Things would actually change. You know, let's just start printing out t-shirts. Things would actually change. I mean, I already got the graphics designed. You need, what, at least $500 or something just to start a t-shirt company? Things would actually change. Think about that. That's a good slogan right there. So, you know, if anyone else is going to steal that idea, you know, if you want to just give me a little bit of money on the side, you know, just so I can survive a little bit longer, that would be great. Things would actually change. Oh, man. Why don't things actually want to change? That should be the real question, right? Maybe I should rename this video to Things Would Actually Change. I mean, you sit here and laugh. I mean, we look at Venezuela. John Bolton. So, I remember a long time ago, I think before Steve Pieczenik was, like, controlled opposition, and he realized that Alex Jones brought him on his show to talk about a false flag, a nothing burger, pretty much. Maybe that insulted his intelligence, his pride, and when he talked to the government again, he realized that he just sold out, like I said, like in the Blaze, neocon, Alex Jones pushing for troop involvement and everything within Venezuela. It's just unbelievable to me. Makes absolute sense. It's just so sick. We talk about wars all the time. We don't win any wars. It's not about winning anything. It's about perpetuating everything. Look at Afghanistan, look at Iraq, look at Iran. Oh yeah, I was saying about John Bolton. They don't think he's competent enough for Iraq, so they're letting him, you know, test dummy Venezuela for a little bit. So then, if Trump wins re-election in 2020, he'll have his, you know, he can take the training wheels off his bike now, and he can go get that pesky last little place, Iraq, you know. You need that place. Unbelievable. It makes you wonder. I look at history. Right, we're going to talk about some history real quick. Let's look at some surface level history. Let's look at some basic. This is how you can get people, reach them. Back in the day, not that long ago, armies used to go around and just conquer people. Generals had a desire to win. You weren't a good general unless you could win in the short amount of time as possible. You know what I mean? This used to be the quality. Having strategic people come up with innovative ways to win as quick as possible. This used to be what happened? Territories were taken. Stuff just happened. We could go back, look at all the empires that happened and everything. What's wrong nowadays with actually just taking stuff? What happened? Where does the draw come from reality? Why? This proves that people are siphoning off of us. That's it. Has to be that they're siphoning off of us, or else we would be winning or doing stuff. Things would change. Things would actually change. You think it's silly, but it's true. People actually went and conquered. People actually took things over. They didn't draw things out because they knew war was expensive as hell. That was the one thing that they were always worried about, was the money for war. And then here we are. Owen Benjamin, I think, was I know he was pointing it out that whenever they need something, they just start unlimiting printing money in our fake system. Like he says, there is no capitalism or anything. Whenever they need something, they just print money, and there it is. They just invite more people in. They just raise our taxes. They just turn us into slaves. That's it. I don't even know anymore. I told Trump to build this prison. You know, it could be funded by our taxpayers. It's a zoo prison, and you can put all those people who commit the worst political crimes. You know, maybe we don't need to execute them. Maybe we can just keep them in there like a zoo. And then, you know, the United States population as a whole could see all these modern-day Benedict Arnolds in their zoo, and they can just die in their zoo. And where they die, and their bones start decaying off their flesh, people can pay money to just see all this. And their bones will be left in that spot forever. Until they turn into dust. That's it. How sick would that be? I mean, not sick in like a gross way, but like sick in a cool way. Would that person? How much money would I generate? Do you think I would solve the national debt crisis pretty quick? I think I would solve the national... Ooh, this is a good tether. You know, I'm about 70% levels over here, so we still need some subjects. On Love, Death, Robots, the Netflix series, you can watch the one about the yogurt. I'm not I don't really like that one that much, but the yogurt one is okay, I guess. But anyway, the yogurt gives the President of the United States the ultimate formula to the national debt, you know, solving the national debt, because they want to project that the national debt is so complicated that some super evolved yogurt can come up with a formula or a plan to solve the national debt crisis. This is the illusion. It's not that hard to actually balance the budget. You just need to start pointing out the problems and fixing the problems, but we ignore the problems. So when you see that episode and the mentality that people use to create that episode, it just shows you that they live in a false reality. They believe the stupidest things that you could possibly imagine, which is why that episode lacked. Those people are the same ones who did the 3 robot ones. No idea what they're talking about. Plays off all your biases or whatever. I think it's lazy writing. The animation is good. It's just the writing is terrible because they're all brainwashed by college. I made this video before. Where do you think all these writers come from who get hired onto these shows? And people are surprised why everything on Netflix is pretty much the same. People are surprised why television is propaganda. Hello, they generate the writers. Unbelievable. That's why I can't stand watching half the trash that is just on. Half of it is trash. Other is just shit. The other is, you find some gems now and then, but I find it more enjoyable when I'm paying for Netflix is just to have all the old school stuff. That's it. I just like reliving the glory days. I just like rewatching all the old school stuff over and over. It doesn't matter. I've seen probably Fifth Element maybe 30 times. I wish they would put Amadeus back on there, but Cloud Atlas is still good. I'll just keep rewatching Cloud Atlas over and over and over and over and over again if I have to. It doesn't matter. I always find something new. I will never subscribe. It's like, why do I need to cancel my subscription so they stop having sex with children? Think about that. Why do I need to stop paying money so they stop having sex? Maybe they should stop having sex with children. Maybe it should be as easy as that. I don't know. How about we use that kind of thought process? How about instead of me canceling, the idea is good, but how about we start enforcing things to get rid of all the sickness? We just let the sickness metastasize, or we act like there is no sickness, or we just let things exist the way they are. Because then if you decide to change them, things would actually change. I think I am going to rechange the title from this to There Is No America to Things May Actually Change, but, or Things Would Actually Change. Actually, no, I'm going to keep the title. Because I forgot the image that I used goes with the video on the front. Yep. So we're going to have to do with that. So I'm actually only feeling about 5 more minutes because my energy levels are actually running pretty low. It's like how Benjamin was saying how about landing the plane. He was feeling, you know, getting ready to land the plane. So, yep. I think I'm going to end it here. I think I'm just going to get ready to land the plane, hit the night. We'll just leave it with that. There's nothing really else out there right now. You know, I can talk about Israel's, the Jews, and everything, how I talked about yesterday. But, you know, I'm not really feeling that tonight either. There's just nothing I'm really feeling about right now other than that. Maybe I'll try meditation. Like how that guy on Twitter is telling me. Alright, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, things would actually change.